Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. Yesterday I took part in a blog hop with my friends in the Poodles team, and it's the InspireInk Blog Hop. If you missed it, there'll be a link in the description bar to my blog post where you can then click on the links to visit all of the other blogs taking part. Our theme for this month was a colour challenge, and we were to use Bumblebee, Misty Moonlight and Soft Succulent. So these are all in colours but from two different sets. Lovely colour combination, and I happened to have picked up a couple of these on my shopping travels, and it is a lip balm and mirror combined. So if I can get it out of this packaging, there we go. So it opens just like a compact. It's got the mirror on one bit and the lip balm on the other, and I kind of thought that that went quite well with the Misty Moonlight and Bumblebee, particularly the darker bits on that. So I thought I would make a box for this, and here's the one that I made and blogged. I've used the Sweet Symmetry designer series paper, and I have used pierced blooms for that. So we've got our Bumblebee and Sweet Succulent, Soft Succulent rather, there, and my pizza style box is in Misty Moonlight card. Inside I've got a little bit that I've stamped with more of the Soft Succulent, and the stamps that I've used for that come from the Lovely You stamp set. Take out the little pot, and I've put an extra bit of the designer series paper in there as well. Okay, so quite a nice, simple, easy project to do, and I have my supplies here. And my trimmer. So I'm going to start off with the card, and I need this piece to be 3.5 inches by 6.25. So we've got 6, and I'm never quite sure where the quarter is on this. I think it's there. Yeah, so right at that edge there. There we go. So I've got that piece. I also need a piece of designer series paper. Now this piece I've already used some of, and I've got 9 inches there, which is exactly what I need. And I want this just to be 2 and turns up at that side, 2.5. Is that right? Do I want 2.5? Nope, I don't want 2.5. I want 1.75. Don't know where 2.5 came from, but that's what I've got in my notes. Better change that before I write my blog. I'm just going to do that now actually. 1.75 that should be. Okay, now I then want to cut that down to 7.25, and that gives me a piece that is 1.75 square that will go in the bottom of my box. Now I could have done my scoring with my trimmer, but I quite like to use my Simply Scored. And we'll start off on the short side, and I want to score at 3/4 of an inch. Turn it all the way around and do 3/4 of an inch as well. Okay, on the long side, 3/4 of an inch, 2 3/4, 3 1/2, and 5 1/2. Oh, that was close, nearly went for 5. 5 1/2, there we are. Okay, let me bring in my bone folder and quickly burnish those. I like using my Simply Scored because it gives you lovely deep score lines on card that are so much easier to fold over. So along both sides I want to cut up all of these score lines to the horizontal one. Okay, there we go. And our squares we can chop into like so. Leaving the rectangles untouched. So I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So straight up, chop the square. Leave the rectangle, go straight up, and then chop the square. And last one, straight up, chop that square. And that's what you're left with. Okay, now I put a little thumb notch on mine just to make it easier, and to do that I used a 1/2 inch circle punch. Now this is the Stampin' Up one, but unfortunately it has long since retired, but if you've got any small circular punch, just take a little notch out of there. So that's going to be the front, that's going to be the lid of my box. So I actually want to take out a little wedge on this piece as well, and it just helps the box close slightly better. Okay, so there we are, little wedge there. That's my lid, this is my base. Fold these 2 tabs in and put on your adhesive of choice. And then simply fold that round to get a nice neat corner. And then do the same with those 2 tabs. Just pressing that down and lining up your edges. Alright, and then the last one is the tabs for the lid. So again, exactly the same. Just bringing that round, I've got a little bit extra there. Bring that round line it up, press it down nice and firm, bring that around, make sure it's all lined up before you press on that as well. Okay, I've got my 1 3/4 inch square piece of designer series paper to put in the bottom. Like that, and I have already gone ahead and done the stamping using the smile and that little piece of foliage on there, just using soft succulent ink onto a scrap of basic white card that I cut down to 1 3/4 inches square as well. There we go, can pop that little fellow in there and the box closes down nice and neatly like that. Tiny little bit of overhang there, I'm just going to chop that off. Okay, so the remaining piece of designer series paper is going to be a belly band that I am just going to crease round. Try and keep it straight. Just creasing it as I go. Okay, it's a little bit longer than I need it to be. I can trim that off in a moment. So just where my crease was, just folding it again, making sure that my edges line up, give it a little burnish. Doing it this way means that it will be a loose fit that is easy enough to slide off and on. Okay, so I've got plenty of overlap there. I am just going to chop that off. So what's that? About 3/4 inch. Yeah. So you could use 3/4 inch less designer series paper than I said originally. Okay, so that's my squint edge that I just manually cut. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that bit and a little bit of glue on that bit, and then fold them over so that they meet but not really tightly, so that you've got that little bit of wiggle room on there for it to slide off and on nice and easily. So the final bit of decoration is just to add this lovely little flower on the top. As I say, these are from the Pierced Blooms dies. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the products that I have used in this video, then please click on the description bar below and there'll be links to the products in my shop, as well as a link to my blog post so that you can go and check out all of the other blogs that took part in yesterday's blog hop with these fabulous colours. And there we go, a nice little box that will keep your little lip balm and compact nice and prettily in your handbag, and when you open the box it gives you a lovely reminder to smile. I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you have, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. I'd love to read that. If you're new to my channel, then please click on the subscribe button. Until the next time, take care. Bye bye.